bother.
Ah, the Isekai. Talk about the genre of the moment. For those not in the know, Isekai, meaning another world, is an aggressively popular genre of Japanese fantasy. In its modern iteration, the protagonist, usually down on their luck, is whisked away quietly or violently to another world. Results may vary. They are essentially escapist fantasies about escapist fantasies, and they are everywhere now, because all around the world there are countless people begging to be anywhere else. Baby Steps is about one such guy, a fellow named Nate. Unemployed, unloved, neat Nate lives in his parents' basement, his sister's shadow. Y'all, I'm getting Isekai vibes. Our would-be Isekai protagonist sits idly on the couch he calls home, waiting for his future to come to him, for a magical force to sweep him away from a meaningless life, a thing that would never actually— Oh!
Family meeting.
Hold on! Okay, this is kind of nice. Alright, so far so good.
Ow! Deep breath. You're okay. You're with Jim?
I'm Jim.
Oh, man. Class, close your eyes. Or don't. Now, imagine yourself getting pancaked by a truck and waking up in the median Isekai fantasy world. What would that world look like? I'm imagining someone's JRPG wet dream, a world dripping in Dragon Questy Euro fantasy aesthetics, held together by loose RPG flavored logic. Very much an oversimplification of an entire genre rich with interesting world building, but I think it's safe to say that many modern isekai worlds are heavily inspired by games, and more importantly, powered by that collective kid gamer dream. To have total agency in a fantasy playground where you're not just some schmuck, you're the hero this game was made for. So it's honestly perfect that one of the most memorable isekai in recent years is a game. And as a game, Baby Steps delivers on absolutely none of that. In a cruel twist of fate, greasy basement dweller Nate gets isekai'd, but there aren't any secret spells or faithful servants or anime girl harems waiting for him. Just mean donkey people. Mean Australian donkey people.
Oh, couch tester.
No, just odd jobs. But there are other things.
Onesie model.
No, there are other
TV testing.
No.
Unfortunately for our boy, here in the mountains, the only language they speak is hiking and Aussie English.
Oro.
Yeah, I like goodbye. Ooh.
Isekai Australia is very much the opposite of your typical three-piece power fantasy combo. It's the setting for the next quote-unquote Foddian rage game, developed by Maxi Boch, Gabe Cuzzillo,
I gotta do a quick pee first.
and Bennett Foddy.
You peed on me in a sense.
That means ultra-precise movement, wild physics, and biblical levels of failure. Nate escapes from a life of struggle into a world of ultra struggle. It opens up less like a hiking sim and more like the 2004 Flash classic Interactive Buddy, where the more you tortured that poor faceless physics toy, the more fun you were having. That's Baby Steps. But the physics toy has a name, and a face, and a story, and a family that misses well, still fun though, until your first really heartbreaking fail, and it finally sets in that you're the buddy. You're the torturee. It's not so funny anymore. Baby Steps force feeds us the hard truth early. Wherever we go, in any world, our baggage comes with us. All of Nate's baggage, figurative and literal, follow him to the mountain. Empty bottles and pizza boxes litter the path. Isekai Australia is juvenile like Nate, with dick-shaped mushrooms, drawings of dicks, and donkey bullies with donkey dicks. His many insecurities manifest as a jiggly, shoeless, otherwise able-bodied gentleman unable to walk up a hill without flopping around like a sardine. Hell, the big MacGuffin that drives the plot is a private bathroom with a door because Nate's too embarrassed to go in the woods. Meanwhile, everyone else just hangs dong and rips piss like it's the best thing on earth.
Bro, you're not doing it. You're not doing it. Come on. I'm running out of pee.
The absurdity really highlights the difference between healthy childhood wonder and Nate's desperate, childish attitude. He wants to dodge the social anxiety-fueled awkwardness, to stop giving people ammo to use against him, to avoid thinking about his problems that become painfully apparent whenever he's forced to talk or move or be a human. Nate is a literal man-baby who tries to trick others and himself into thinking he's already at the top of this mountain. In doing this, he puts himself, and you, in increasingly ridiculous situations. The game could be over in like 2 hours if you just said, yes, I would like some help. But no.
Don't worry about me. I gotta pee though. I really gotta get going.
So you're prepared to crawl, but you won't lower yourself to take one of these lanterns that I've schlepped up from the bottom of the mountain for you.
Every single second, every single input, every single frame, we're forced to witness Nate operate his legs for the very first time, moaning and groaning his way up and down the mountain. Like the absolute frustration you feel when you're waiting for him to get up off the ground. I wasn't even mad about the falling, but just listening to Nate get one of his signature one-liners off.
Okay.
Oh, dude. We got this. So, what's the point? Just to suffer. I don't buy it. Many modern isekai protagonists are a lot like Nate, a, loser. Temporarily embarrassed cool guy. A lot of them are advertised as these vessels for lonely, spiteful folks who've fallen through the cracks, usually targeting boys and men. This world hurt them, so we'll sell them a one-way ticket to another one with all the things they feel entitled to. Just hop in the shoes of this protagonist. Don't get me wrong, we all need a little escape to survive out here. And plenty of isekai do offer healthy escapes to worlds that hold mirrors up to systems that revive our love for life and people, that remind us why we do this human stuff. But not all. Some of these worlds, man. It's fiction that discourages audiences from confronting themselves, interrogating reality, and sedates them. They drown them in a pool of cope juice that allows them to sample some toxic ideal, validation through accumulating gratuitous wealth, dominating others, controlling women, amassing power, the sudden total elimination of what some have been taught to consider weakness, relying on no one and instead having everyone else as subjects that rely on you instead. You're such a cool guy now. The general pitch is this: hey, trade reality and real growth for toxic wish fulfillment. And to be absolutely clear, none of that is somehow exclusive to this dark corner of the isekai market. It's in every genre, every medium, in every corner of the globe. In an increasingly tumultuous, alienating world, the easiest solution is to bury your head in the proverbial sand, to be content chasing the illusion of meaning inside sleepy fiction. A lot of media, knowingly or not, are cashing in by feeding this unhealthy obsession with unending, uncritical escapes from reality and from oneself. Baby Steps is the next in a growing line of isekai responding to this trend, and to me, the response isn't that hurt people deserve to suffer for some bully's enjoyment.
I was gonna ask.
Hey, Andy!
Baby Steps isn't necessarily cruel. It's actually pretty empathetic. Metaphor Refantasio, the best game of 2024, tackles the function of fiction as a way to offer clarity that you can bring back to your life, rather than just living out some escapist fantasy. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, the best game of 2025, if Baby Steps didn't exist, spotlights the healthy and unhealthy ways we might engage with art to cope with life. Baby Steps is a game, again, about the folly of the pursuit for total escape, but it's also a game about the process of minutial, incremental, meaningful progress. Baby Steps is unironically the most earnest game I've played all last year. The misadventures of our lovable land seal remind us that doing dumb things and making stupid mistakes is the mark of a life well lived. We're gonna embarrass ourselves. We're gonna lie awake in bed 5 years later thinking about it. Some people aren't gonna like us. We're gonna ruin a couple relationships. It's all part of the journey. So embrace it. Put that gamer ego away. Lower your guard. You'll blitz through a couple obstacles in a row, then do the slide of shame a dozen times. That's normal. That's fun. You'll learn the minute mechanisms of each mechanic, exact angles and their exact foot time allowances, sometimes during the adrenaline pumping ups, sometimes during the drywall destroying downs.
Why?
But one awkward step at a time, you, like Nate, become better. Isekai Australia establishes itself as this wicked evil place, but it's actually really safe. Nate saw donkey people, saw how well they knew the mountain, and felt alienated and insecure, but as Nate learns, there are people here more than willing to help, practically begging him to accept the help. He has to learn to accept it. Every obstacle on this mountain looks like it should kill you, but Nate falls from insane heights and gets right back up.
Yeah, I mean, I got to thinking, man could jump and live.
You'd probably live, I guess.
No,
yeah.
you'd live. Nobody dies in this place.
So yeah, you could just jump off it, I guess.
Yeah.
Isekai Australia is to Nate what Baby Steps is to the player. I think that's what makes it such a phenomenal isekai. It joins the ranks of isekai that fulfill what, for me at least, is the promise of the genre. A coming-of-age story where an unlikely protagonist is given the safe environment and support system they deserve, not to ignore their problems, but to confront them and grow. I can experience all the triumphs and blunders in safety. I can experience learning from repeated failure and feel that good feeling of overcoming a challenge I set for myself. I can learn to humble myself and walk away from challenges I don't really need to do. My first playthrough, I didn't even try the Man Breaker, the game's biggest streamer baitiest challenge. I took the stairs. I didn't have anything to prove to anyone, certainly not myself, and double certainly not to Jim. Maybe if I ever returned, say because I decided to restart my YouTube channel making shorter video essay things and have to do it all over again for footage and commentary, then... Alright, well... Baby Steps doesn't claim to have any answers to the tricky problem of late-stage capitalism or patriarchy or the unique ways they hurt different people, but one thing it does impart on the player is that no matter what, the struggle is worth it, and struggling together even more so. I was right there with Nate during his 30,000-step journey from poser to certified mountain vet, when he dug his piggies into the mud and looked adversity right in the eye, did things he never thought he could and for himself, not for validation, and when he learned to be vulnerable enough to let other people be his hero. Then, I went back to my world. Better, if only by a tiny bit.
Still out there, huh?
Could I come in?
Yeah. Do you wanna?
Yeah.